Nate's team started throwing punches at my security guards. My security guards dropped his team, and it just...
Gervonta Tank Davis hit Jake Paul with a chair during their recent press conference, but as Jake Paul says, that'll be settled in the ring. During their heated face, Davis called Jake a huge piece of fat with no boxing skills, adding that anyone who thinks a bigger man automatically beats a smaller one doesn't understand boxing. Tank made it clear he's looking for a knockout, though that statement only fueled more backlash. Fans and pros are calling him crazy for believing his lightweight power can hurt someone nearly 60 pounds heavier. Even his own coach, Calvin Ford, has expressed some concern.
Tank looked very uncomfortable facing off. He just did. I've seen other face-off this Tank done. He gets in their face and they're intense and he looks good. He looked very meager up there. You've had 8 fights and you're gonna go tangle with Tank Davis. And the story instantly comes out. Jake is so much bigger. There is such a compliment to Jake within that insult. It is meant to...
Since their recent face-off in New York, fans have noticed Tank looking distant, irritated, and barely engaged. It seems they needed to bring the energy back, and Jake Paul did just that. When Jake started throwing verbal shots, even mocking Tank's personal life, Davis snapped, hurling a chair at him and calling the fight personal. Jake Paul took things further, joking about Tank's ankle monitors and legal troubles. Then came a stunt no one expected. Jake had actual clowns walk onto the stage, pointing at Davis and chanting, "Any man who puts his hands on a woman is a clown."
I want to see clowns. Gervonta, you're the clown, buddy. You're the clown, Gervonta. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown.
Apparently, that was just another episode in the Jake Paul show. Ahead of Fight Night. Days after the New York presser, Jake posted an edited AI clip online that made it look like he and Tank were kissing on the mouth. According to Davis, someone has clearly gone too far. While some fans laughed it off, others said Jake crossed the line. Reports claim Tank's camp even threatened to pull out of the fight if the trolling continued.
His face off, Henry. What are your thoughts here?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like it.
About it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position...
Calvin Ford is already raising concerns about the gloves. According to Jake's father, Greg Paul, Tank's coach requested smaller gloves for Gervonta, while Jake used the standard thicker ones. The idea was supposedly to make Tank's punches sharper and more dangerous, but to Jake's team, it looked like a red flag, an early sign of doubt. You're already trying to play with the rules because you know it's a bad matchup, Greg Paul said. Ford didn't deny the request but claimed it was about fairness, saying Jake's gloves don't feel right. The exchange went viral, leaving fans wondering whether Tank's team is losing confidence.
You can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
And honestly, they might be. The weight issue hasn't gone away. At the New York event, when the host announced the fight would be at 195 pounds, Tank immediately corrected him. "Nah, y'all said 190. The frustration was visible. That small back and forth said a lot. He didn't even seem sure what the official weight was. For someone who's fought his entire career around 135 pounds, even a 5-pound shift can change everything, let alone 60. But Tank's not backing down. In multiple interviews he's repeated, weight doesn't mean skill. They always think size wins fights. It doesn't. Power, timing, and heart win fights. And I got all 3. He keeps saying he's going to knock Jake out. Maybe. He really believes it.
A 5'7" wingspan. Tank fighting me would be a fairer matchup. We're basically the same size. And you wonder why fans think Jake's fights are rigged? Because every time we see some nonsense like this, it feels like WWE with boxing gloves. Here's the kicker though. Jake threatened to sue anyone who calls his fights rigged. Yeah, you know, the same guy who preaches freedom of speech now wants to ban opinions. After that clown show with Mike Tyson that left everyone scratching their heads.
Calvin Ford, though, doesn't sound as confident. In a recent media chat, Ford said, "I just want Tank to get paid and get out safe. That's all." That one line says a lot about how seriously his corner takes Jake's size advantage. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is milking every ounce of attention. He arrived at the Miami presser in a Bugatti Chiron worth over $3 million, with Adin Ross filming the entire thing. Tank pulled up in a sleek black Ferrari SF90, but Jake's confidence was louder. "I'm the bigger man, the better athlete, and the smarter businessman," Jake told reporters. Tank fired back. "You're a YouTuber pretending to be a fighter."
And I'm thinking about, hey, Bigfoot versus Littlefoot. Andre the Giant versus Wee Man. Man, this is gonna be better than damn Circus on Lake. Yeah, they gonna look weird as hell in the ring together, man. You see how big Jake Paul is? 200 plus pounds? Man, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Yeah, the circus continues. This is why I can't stay.
Mike Tyson also weighed in, praising Jake Paul's power heading into the Tank Davis fight. He said he was sore for days after sparring with Jake, though that might have had more to do with age than punch resistance. Still, coming from Tyson, that's massive. It gives Jake the kind of credibility he's been chasing for years, especially now that he's trying to prove he belongs in real boxing conversations.
In the last month or so, in rooms about his retirement, I don't think it's a massive shock that he is taking this Jake Paul fight, if it is going to go ahead, purely for the reason that it's a lot of money for maybe not the most difficult job that he's going to have in his career. So it's a strange one, but yeah, it's just another kind of day in the sport, really.
Despite all the noise and controversy surrounding his career, Jake Paul isn't slowing down. The 28-year-old from Ohio keeps saying he's chasing a legitimate world title shot, fighting Tank. Even if it's massive for publicity, doesn't bring him closer to that. It's an exhibition, not a sanctioned bout. The belts, rankings, and records don't count, but the money and attention definitely do. Jake's business partner and most valuable promotions Naki Sabidarian made sure to clarify every technical detail to silence the confusion.
You do this when you're in your 40s. You don't do this now when people want Shakur, when you fall to a draw and Lamont Roach should be next. We get all of that. Let me tell you where I am. The fight is scheduled and it's going to happen.
According to the fight's official weight cap is 195 pounds. Fully approved by the Athletic Commission, it'll run for 10 3-minute rounds, with both fighters wearing 12-ounce gloves. Sitting ringside will be 3 professional judges, hand-picked by the commission, meaning there'll be an official scorecard and a declared winner if the fight goes the distance. Both fighters are also under full USADA testing, just like in a standard world title fight.
He retired out of the sport because he's been, making claims saying that he's done and that he's about to retire. Basically, he doesn't want to do this no more. And I feel like, he got the big fight, and there's really no bigger fight than this. There's just no bigger fight than this, bro. At first, people were saying
that announcement was meant to silence critics who called the event fake or staged, but a DIDN single quotes T. The word exhibition still hangs over the fight, and that's making many boxing figures uneasy, especially veterans like Paulie Malignaggi. Speaking on from the fight, Malignaggi didn't hold back. He called the whole thing a circus, saying people don't realize what it actually is. "It's not a real fight," he said flatly. "People talk about Jake setting up fights. I don't think he fixes them. Because if you fix a sanctioned fight, that's a federal crime. What he does is pick opponents who are either too small or way past their best."
But instead of giving us the rematch with Roach, he's going to fight Jake Paul. Now this is where you have a chance to stand up as fans. Don't pay for it. Don't watch it. But we know that you're going.
Then he went deeper on this matchup. "This one's not sanctioned, so technically, you can't even bet on it," Malignaggi said. "That's the thing. When it's an exhibition, you take away the gambling angle because they can't legally allow betting on something that could be staged. That's why they had to turn the Tyson fight into a real one, because people wanted to bet." He called it wacky, unpredictable, and a circus, implying this could end up being more spectacle than sport.
We'll get an actual real boxer for real boxer who is a knockout artist, who is still in his prime, and now you put him in this exhibition. This just shows me right now that the sport is officially gone, and the only hope we have is September 13th. Canelo and Bud.
Malignaggi gave some insight into how it might play out if it's a real fight, if they don't stage it. "And it's not just a light sparring match," he said. "Then Tank's got a chance, depending on glove size." Malignaggi estimated that Jake might weigh nearly 100 pounds more than Tank, calling it a massive difference. If they use small gloves, Gervonta could hurt Jake if he catches him clean, but those same gloves also mean Jake could do serious damage to Gervonta because of the size gap.
I think My thoughts on it is let's watch and see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said that boxing's turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. What do you agree? Last thing, White House card, like he said, you want Conor McGregor?
Yeah, but the whole thing's on WWE. So
Right.
it's like, at least that's happening and getting something to talk about, something to watch. And
He sees a potential mismatch, one that could turn ugly fast if Jake Paul's right hand lands clean. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more.